All right, they say, elections have consequences. We're talking about the one in the United States and Donald Trump assuming office on January 20th. So a lot of people could lose their jobs. This guy is already en route to losing his job, but in a good way, and he's okay with it. Daniel Hannan is a European Parliament member, but after Brexit, he's counting down his days. Very good to see you, Dan.
Yeah, so if you hear of anything for a newly unemployed MEP, you let me know, won't you?
There's a night hot dog about that. What do you make of this? And obviously in populist rages, and Brexit was the first big example of that, Donald Trump and his election here. What's going on?
I mean, I wouldn't overdo the parallel. The Brexit campaign was kind of fairly international.
Yeah.
Right, it was a referendum. But I mean, as I understood it, a big part of Donald Trump's shtick was that he didn't want a free trade agreement with China. A big chunk of ours was that we did want one, that the EU wouldn't let us have one because the EU controls the trade policy of all of its countries, and that outside the European Union, Britain would be a more global, more free trading, more deregulated country. So I wouldn't completely equate them. There were important differences. Having said that, I think it is probably fair to say that both campaigns were informed by a resentment against what was seen to be a failing ruling caste.
And both targeted people who were deemed to be simple, narrow-minded, and even racist.
Well, were accused of being those things, right, and of course reacted as anyone would. I mean, people understand that there are, that the world doesn't owe them a living, and that there are winners and losers in everything, and not everyone is going to be doing well all the time. But when you then pick on the people who are not doing well, and additionally go out of your way to tell them that they are racist, xenophobic, they wouldn't be human if they didn't react against that. And what's really incredible to me is that both since Brexit in my country and since the election here, the people who were giving out that insult have doubled down. They've become even more hysterical in their language.
Even more obnoxious.
And either they don't get what the effect of that is on a kind of neutral person, or, which I think is probably more likely, they don't care, because this is really kind of virtue signaling, isn't it?
I don't think they care. In fact, listen to some of the quotes. Americans, even on this election, have no idea what they're in for. Congratulations on the stupidity of the American electorate. These are just comments coming out of British newspapers. I don't know French.
It's exactly
the same. Could be the same with the French.
Exactly the same after Brexit.
How does a Donald Trump, you think, deal with that?
Well, the first point is that people have actually got this more correct than the professional economists did. When there was I remember the first tweet I sent out after when I saw the election result was, "Buy the dip." Don't listen to all these idiots, all these Paul Krugmans telling you that there's going to be a collapse in the stock exchange. There isn't, and there wasn't. And it was the reason I said that with such confidence. Well, I mean, you know about business, Neil. You're my favourite handsome and charming Italian-American TV presenter. It was the same in Brexit. It was exactly the same. People said the stock exchange will collapse, unemployment will rise, there'll be emergency tax rises. In fact, British stocks are the best performing in Europe. Unemployment has fallen.
But you heard just you wait. That's the thing I always hear.
You see how quickly they move, right?
So they've sort of pivoted to that.
They have moved without a blush from saying the immediate aftermath of the vote will be an economic calamity, to now saying, oh yeah, no, we never said it would be immediate, just wait, just wait. Of course, if you wait long enough, then cyclically there is going to be another recession. We haven't abolished the cycle, right? And when that happens, they'll say, you see. But I think people know better.
I mean, their conservative pen could rise as a force. In Italy, conservatives are feeling their oats. You think this continues?
So I think that there's been a reaction ever since the bailouts. There's been a sense that the system was rigged, that poor or low and medium income families were expropriated through the tax system to rescue some very wealthy bankers and bondholders from the consequences of their errors. And that has angered people on both sides of the Atlantic. But the way to address their anger is not with protectionism, not with nativism, not with being anti-globalization or anti-immigrant. It's by tackling the basic economic problem, which is that the people on lower incomes haven't benefited with all this quantitative easing going on.
Sorry to jump on you, my friend. This commercial comes whether you and I are chatting or not. Daniel Hannan, European Parliament member, well, soon to be out of a job. Maybe not. After this.